All right. What is up? What is up? What's going on? Happy Sunday, everybody. As I make sure really quickly that YouTube is getting my stream set up here, maybe. All right. There we go. Welcome, welcome. Like I said, happy Sunday, everybody. Griffin here back with another live stream for you guys. First and foremost, for everybody that is going to be new, seeing this video for the first time after it uploads or maybe even live, if you're just wondering like what we're all about here, we talk all about any way to make money within the stock market, be it options, futures, crypto from time to time. Obviously flipping stocks, penny stocks, so on. Any way to make money. I preach this all the time. I think there is a place in the stock market for everybody. You just have to find your specific niche that you do well at and enjoy, of course. So if you're into that kind of thing, I mean, we don't even talk about just the stock market here. It's just what we talk about the most. We also talk about just achieving financial freedom in general, debt-free journeys, all that good stuff. So if you're just in that kind of thing, definitely hit that subscribe button below, and definitely be sure to don't be afraid to shout some questions out in the chat there. That's what we're all here for. We go over ticker symbols on Sunday specifically. That's why I call it Sunday Stock Watch. How's it going, Josh? Good afternoon. But yeah, so by all means, if you have any questions or ticker symbols, don't be afraid to shoot them out there. And yeah, I guess with that, we'll go ahead and get right to it. You guys are probably wondering what I have going on here because I don't generally do this whenever I have stocks. But this is actually, like the title also says, my first options contracts, essentially first positions I've taken when it comes to options. And I'm going to talk about one or two that I'm kind of worried about, and the others, actually only one that I'm really worried about, but the other three I'm not too worried about. I know two of them will at least probably make me some pretty decent money. But yeah, so with that being said, so pretty much for those of you that are in the Discord group chat, you know that I was pretty much shouting out every position I was taking, not only options but as well as like for flipping. Obviously I held HEAR over the weekend, hoping, we can check it out really quickly, just going back to charts. HEAR dropped under $5. Like I said, I should have waited. My target buy price was right around where it was, right around 460 to 485. Even 490s is where I would have even still considered buying, but I got caught up in just how it was moving recently. So once I saw it kind of dip right here, I bought in around 517. I could have sold for a small profit, but I just thought it was going to pop again like it does usually once or twice a day. Of course, previous trends don't by any means promise you anything whatsoever, but definitely something that you can go off of. But obviously you can see it kind of just continued to trend down, still held above 480 pretty well. So again, that's pretty much the support, 460s, 480s, somewhere in there. That's why I wanted my target buy price to be around 480. But my buy price still isn't too high. It's like like I said, around 517. I think I might have averaged down once and brought it down a little bit further. I don't remember exactly, but either way, it's around 515. So with that being said, if it is around 515, which I'm pretty sure it is, my target sell, I put it at 533 just so I'll be notified, because we look at a whole bunch of stocks, so it's easy for me to forget my positions from time to time. So at 533, it'll just call my attention that, hey, you're up like 3.5% right now. So I'll go over there and look. But my target sell, in all honesty, is around 550, 560. You can see if we get up to about 560, that is what, about 8%, almost 9% profit. And even if I sell around 540, 550, I'm still looking at 5 to 6%. So I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, just based off of previous trends, just looking at even the 5 and 10 day, you see this thing continuously pops almost every day at some point. So not too bad. But that's my only position I really held over the weekend when it comes to flipping stocks. So and I'll be sure to scan some here in a little bit for you guys, and we'll look at FinViz as well to see what they have going on there. I found out, actually, speaking of FinViz, I got, apparently, that was when I disconnected on Friday. How I'm using FinViz kind of is for options specifically. I'll kind of use just this general page here as like what to look out for, and like what I'll look for is the signals. Like if it says overbought, then I might consider that's why I took a position on Tizu. I just bought one put. I'll talk about just different options and whatnot here in a minute. But I saw it was overbought on this specific website, so I went ahead and took a look at it. Seeing it was highly overbought, it should come down probably to around $8 or $9. Should doesn't always mean it's going to happen, but being that it should come down to around like $8, I was like, well, I'll just go ahead and put a put around $9. and just see what happens. And I bought that around, I don't remember the exact price, like $10.50, between $10.50 and $11 is what it was currently at when I bought that. With some pretty good potential. But that is how I'm using FinViz currently, is more for options. That's just me personally. Like I said, I still haven't even used this website all that much. I still have a lot to learn within this website. But I just like to use it just to kind of give me some ideas of some potential stocks to look out for. Don't have to necessarily scan for them. I mean, I looked at that one. I didn't actually look at ecom. I probably should have. Maybe I didn't because I saw that it wasn't really up that much at the time. And the volume wasn't that much, but you get what I'm saying. You can kind of just use this as like a just starting point, so to speak. But anyways, yeah. So like I said, that was the only position that I took, or I mean kept over the weekend. You all know I don't generally like to hold penny stocks to begin with, but HEAR, I mentioned it actually all throughout the week. HEAR is probably one of the only penny stocks that I would ever, and that's only for now. This could change depending on when you end up seeing this video. I mean, if you see it 6 months from now, chances are I probably won't be saying the same thing about this, but for the time being, it's a pretty decent penny stock in all honesty that you could hold. And yeah, so anyways, going straight to options now. I'll get my chart pulled up here. I'm gonna get a quick drink. So I took, all these are puts, by the way. I just standard, just pretty much betting on the stock going down. So I bought a put at $10.50 on AMD that expires, I believe, like May 16th. They're all like 20-30 day contracts, roughly a month. So I put one on AMD at $10.50. Why? Because obviously with earnings, it had a good little pump up. You can see, I mean, it literally went up like 20% in a matter of, or more maybe, in a matter of like 2 days. Let me go ahead and just show the actual chart. That way we'll get a better look at it here. So you can see on the 5-day here, we literally had a low of about 956. So from about there to the recent high, yeah, about 20%. So again, you see that it kind of dropped off here a little. In all honesty, I was expecting it to drop under 11. So the fact that it held up above 11, I'm kind of definitely keeping an eye on for sure. I'm anxious to see what's going to happen with this on Monday. But a few of these charts, if I remember right, they were showing pretty, yeah, you can see our MACD heavily overbought still. RSI, pretty overbought too. This is what, the 20-day chart? 20-day chart is definitely shows dream that we could pull back. That's why I went ahead and just put it 10.50. I really don't see this going back under 10 in all honesty. Overall, I am pretty bullish on AMD. They have a lot of good things going for them right now, finally, after like Borderline going bankrupt, it sounds like. But they have a lot of good stuff going right now. So overall, I wouldn't be surprised in all honesty if over the summer AMD ends up hitting like 15 plus. Obviously, none of us are fortune tellers, but it just wouldn't be a surprise in all honesty. Our 10-day also still has room for potential to continue to pull back. And MACD isn't quite so high. Actually, it's actually pretty low in all honesty. RSI has room to go either way. So like I said, overall 10.50 I just figured was kind of a safe put. I just didn't want to do a call just because, like I said, it's up 20% in like the last 2 days. So I mean, you generally don't want to like buy a call whenever a stock's on the rise because it will have a pullback. It's just a matter of when. But again, I'm just anxious to see what's going to happen. I went ahead and set, this was after it had this little push up whenever it came down to around 11.02, if I remember right, hit 11.02 and bounced. I seen it start to come back down, and I seen that we kind of just continued to stay right under 11.20. So I was like, you know, I'll set a alert at 11.28 just to kind of be a warning as, hey, this thing might not pull back like you thought. By all means, like I said, I'll just play it out and see. And then $11, I also set an alert there. Why? Because if it breaks below 11, then I think it'll continue to pull back to near 10.50. And then obviously the closer it gets, the more profit that I'll make. So yeah, so that's with AMD. And then what was the other one? I took 3 other positions. One, Sprint. So Sprint was crazy on Friday, especially Friday afternoon. And then obviously the news, I don't know if you guys heard, Sprint and T-Mobile, it sounds like they're pretty much confirmed that they are merging. At least they're going to like go through all of the hoopla stuff, like how, the only thing I'm wondering is if they're going to have some roadblocks, kind of like Time Warner and AT&T. Obviously, it's comparing apples to oranges, kind of, because it's a totally different situation there. But I'm really interested to see what's gonna happen. If this like for real like ends up like kind of going through, you can expect Sprint to probably open up. It looks like around 660, between probably 650 and 665, just based off of the numbers that they kind of threw out in the reports. But again, I'm gonna be anxious to see what happens because I put puts at $6. You can see right after the bell dropped all the way down to 556, and I was like freaking out. I was like, why the fuck can this have happened like 5 minutes before the bell, not 5 minutes? Because I mean, this happened quick, guys. You can see, I mean, within minutes. What was this? So this was at literally the bell closes right around 650, and then you can see within 11 minutes it dropped all the way to 556. 11 to 12 minutes. So I was like, God, why couldn't this happen before? But it is what it is. It came up to about 6. So I mean, right now it wouldn't be bad if we could open there. But obviously a lot can happen pre-market tomorrow. So I'm definitely gonna be anxious. I'm gonna be watching Sprint very, very, very closely tomorrow morning. And we'll just see what happens. That one also expires around like May 18th. So definitely, like I said, gonna be interested. Definitely gonna be watching that Sprint T-Mobile news very, very closely. If worse comes to worse, like I said, that's the thing. With my options, I'm doing very, very small positions. I'm doing like one put, one call, whatever. Like I'm only taking like one position essentially. So like for Sprint, my max loss would be 25, and then whatever fees, obviously. So probably like $30, 35 maybe loss. Obviously that's no good. I mean, you don't want to lose money, but just again, like I said, I'm just dabbing my toes in options still. At least for the time being. And by all means, why did I exactly decide to put a put? Again, it was up a lot. It was actually up like 10 or 12% if I remember right when I took the put. I might be slightly wrong on that. It was right around 10% though, up. And I knew I'd been kind of following Sprint and T-Mobile and whatnot, because obviously those of us that have been paying attention know these merging talks have been up, down, the last probably at least few months. Even whenever I wasn't trading stocks, I was still hearing about this. So, I mean, it was a few months back this has been going on. And generally speaking, the talks would heat up. Sprint would just shoot through the roof. And then the talks would kind of just dissipate. You wouldn't hear nothing about it for a while. And then Sprint would start to go right back down to around $5. So, so I went ahead. I was like, you know what? If history repeats itself, like I'll bet on, then Sprint will probably go back down. And again, it's a small position, so the risk versus reward to me was there. I can't help the fact that finally it looks like this is actually going to go through, but just my luck, right? But point being is when you're starting out doing options or any form of trading, always, of course, like I say, try out paper trading first, but then take very, very, very small positions. Like I said, with my options account, I'm literally starting with like $100. That way, if I blow through it, then I'll be like, okay, I need to go back, learn a little bit more, and then I'll come back again, try it out, and then see what happens. But this is really the only position that I'm slightly worried about, in all honesty. Like I said, I'll be anxious to see what happens in the morning, pre-market action, see what kind of price action they have going. And then, obviously, like I said, I took a put also on Tzu. And like I said, I found this one actually on FinViz. Why? I was, again, just looking through here. I was looking at the gainers and whatnot. And what did it say? Overbought. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. And sure enough, whenever you look at it on, what would I start out at? The 20-day. You can see what? You see it's jumped literally from 660 all the way to over 1155. So I was like, that's interesting. Now let me look back at the 180-day. What do you see? Usually the highest it's gotten is around where? Around 850, but generally speaking, it's kind of bounced around between $6 and $7.50. Let's just say $7.50 being generous to say the least. But so I seen that, I was like, okay, well, it's definitely well overextended. I mean, yes, it had, if I remember right, it was like a good earnings. I think the earnings was actually good on this, if I remember right, which obviously helped it continue to push up, but still highly overbought. And it's already came down almost $1 from the recent high. So I was like, yeah, I would definitely see this pulling back to around $9 or $10 at the minimum. That's why I went ahead and decided to put a put at $9. A lot of people were putting puts at like $8. I don't really think, I don't know in all honesty, like I said, I'm no fortune teller or anything. But it sounds like this company overall, Travelzoo, is doing pretty well. But, I mean, still highly overbought. So I was like, you know what, I'll just kind of split the difference, try to play it safe a little, and just do a $9 put. and I think the risk on that one was also about 20 bucks. So again, nothing big. We'll just see what happens. But that one also expires, I think, the same day as Sprint, like May 18th. So definitely plenty of time for that one to continue to pull back. Obviously, you don't want to wait too long because Theta can really bite you in the ass if you let it. What was the other one? Teaser. And then MAT, Mattel, if I remember right. That's the name of that one. Go ahead and pull it up too. Mattel, I took a put at, what was it, 13.50 if I remember right. 13 or 13.50. I forget which one. But I took a put on Mattel. Why? Just because it kind of just continues to disappoint of late. You can see it came all the way up to around $19, $20. Got rejected. Came back down to around 14. 14 had kind of been acting as a support, and then you can see it finally broke 14 and came down clear to 12, 12.50. So now the support is roughly right around, actually about 12.70. So now what do you expect? You expect 14 to 15 to act as a pretty strong resistance, and it's starting to show signs slightly of overbought when you look at, what was it, the 10 and 20 day if I remember right. Yeah, starting to show signs of definitely pretty overbought. It's already down also over $1 since the recent high 15.13. So you see what, it broke above 15 for that 14 to 15 resistance, came back down below it. That's why I went ahead and decided to put, I think I put it at 13.50 in all honesty. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong if you're watching from the Discord chat. I'm pretty sure I did 13.50 though. Again, a pretty conservative one. That I have confidence that I'll definitely hit, and that also has the same expiration. I put all these, literally I bought all these puts or whatever within like a half-hour time frame. So yeah, with that being said, those are all of my, if I remember right, let me go back to my flex grid. So yeah, these, like I said, these are all my positions when it comes to options. They're all puts. So like I said, I mean, we'll see what happens. Worst comes to worst, I mean, you already know, worst comes to worst, I mean, my account would be quote-unquote wiped out. But the only one, like I said, that I'm really worried about a little bit is Sprint. But it is what it is. Like I said, we'll see what happens tomorrow morning and going forward. So, I actually forgot my notes. I took a lot of, again, those of you that are in Discord know that I took a lot. I'm just learning vigorously when it comes to options because I really like the idea of options, and I just think overall, I'm not gonna say it's easier to make money in options versus flipping stocks, but I feel like the risk, you can really limit your risk when trading options. And I started learning a lot about shorting calls, shorting puts, like all that good stuff, selling puts, essentially selling puts, selling calls, all that good stuff, the premiums and whatnot. Because I think it's Felix and Scott. I don't know if you guys are watching right now, maybe not, but they were kind of talking about that to me on the chat recently, so I went ahead and actually hopped on Tasty Trade's YouTube channel. They got a lot of good information when it comes to options. Like, I definitely suggest you guys go over to their YouTube channel if you're into options at all. I mean, they got a lot of just, there's a lot of information, but they break it down where it's pretty easy to understand, where a lot of these people can overcomplicate things, at least to me. So, but yeah, like I just learned a lot about just shorting puts, shorting calls, all that good stuff. And I think whenever I get done with all of these, whatever money I have, if hopefully profits, but whatever money I have, I'll go ahead and take a few like short calls, short puts, etc. One thing that, if I remember right, what I learned is you definitely want to do the ones that are more out of the money. It sounds like your risk goes from like your potential for profit goes from like low 50s and 60s to like upper 70s, sometimes 80s, like percent wise. So like I said, it's just with options, if you play it right, you can definitely limit your risk immensely and still have some pretty good, decent profits. So like I said, I'll definitely keep you guys posted, and I'll just keep on telling you guys whatever I learn, what mistakes I make, what I learn from that. That's just what this channel is all about. Like I said, last week I got a little bit of like hate on one of my videos about Robinhood options, and like I always tell you guys, I'm not here to strictly say, oh, you need to do this. Like, no, this channel is just me documenting everything that I do, no matter what it is, from Amazon FBA to trading stocks, just documenting everything that's worked, everything that doesn't work, so then you can kind of just form your own opinion, learn from my mistakes, and learn from my successes, and then go form your own style of trading, so to speak, or whatever you feel like doing. So with that being said, I guess we can go ahead and start scanning for some stocks for this week. I think we're already like 20 minutes in. I didn't want to make this too long. How long are we? So yeah, we're about to 20 minutes in already. Hopefully you guys are doing well. We got 2 of you tuning in right now. But yeah, with that being said, I guess we'll start out by scanning for, I don't know what I want to scan for. I don't want to scan for anything that's over $10 this time. So minimum volume, yeah, I'll say 200,000. I have 20 million there just as a baseline. I'm gonna go ahead and actually bump this a little. Let's go ahead and do 25% and see what happens. So we'll go ahead and scan. Get you guys pulled back up here. And then by any means, if you guys have ticker symbols that you have on your mind and you want me to take a look at them and tell you what I think of them, by all means, like I said, throw them out in that chat and I'll definitely take a look at them for you. So we got RSLS, it's around 48 cents. It dropped 4 cents, which is down 8. The volume, volume isn't too high. Let's look at this one. This one shouldn't be too bad. DHX, $1.45, down almost 6.5%. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one. DHX. Okay, so it was up to $2. This came down to $1.38. 180 days isn't horrible. I mean, it is still kind of descending of late. It's starting to trim below the 180-day SMA, but it definitely has a lot of room to potentially make up if it wishes. I mean, it could easily jump up 20 to 30%. Earnings are coming up, of course, within, it looks like, a week or so. So that's one thing to be on the lookout for. Our 20-day is showing pretty oversold, which I like, of course. Definitely have a lot of room for potentially gapping up as well, if you want to call that a gap up. Let's see. Let's say you waited and got in around $1.41. Apparently it's at $1.30. Oh, apparently it's at $1.45 right now. Actually, I was looking at the low. Let's say you got in at $1.50, because I would say by then it's definitely coming back up. It's up 12 cents from the low. And then let's say you're probably going to see some resistance right around here, around like 160, 165. So let's say you sold at 161. That's 7.5% profit potential there. Again, you might want to look up, see if there's any negative news going on with the stock for whatever reason that it came from 195, let's just say 194 to 141. I mean, that's a, what, 27% change in a matter of 9 days. So I'm assuming there's some kind of negative news or something. Might want to look into that tonight or something if you're considering taking a position on this. And then obviously do your own technical analysis, due diligence, all that good stuff, and make a educated decision. This one, I'll probably go ahead and just add it to my watch list, just kind of keep an eye on it. It might be a total turd like, what was it, CCIH, where, I mean, it has potential one day and then goes negative the others, but I'll go ahead and just watch it just to keep myself interested. I need to go ahead and go through this again. I have a lot of stocks that I'm not even really considering anymore, but so yeah, we'll go ahead and go back to our little scanner. And like I said, I mean, I know my scanner is not like the best. This is just like a basic little scanner that I kind of just set up just for, again, just for some plays. I mean, I found HEAR, which has been a very good almost daily trade of late. I know a lot of people had already been trading GERN, but I found GERN just on my scanner as well. CLDX, actually that was one that you guys brought up. I think CPST was one that I found through the scanner. What else was there? Obviously JCPenney, but I already knew about JCPenney. If I remember right, Joan might have been one as well. Point being, like, I know this scanner by all means is not like the best. You can go out and look on, again, Finviz is one that you can definitely use for like big movers and whatnot. So like new low, you could look at this new low. I might even look at that. Let's go ahead and pull that one up. UAVS. But like I was saying, I mean, just again, do your own due diligence, do your own homework. Like I said, I'm not here to tell anyone what to do or anything like that. Wow, so this thing's come from over $5 down to $2.20. Let's look at the 180 day. 180 days pretty horizontal. Obviously, you had this huge push to over $21, but overall, generally speaking, it's hovering from around, it looks like $3 to maybe $4 or $5. Obviously, it dropped almost 12% to a new low of 220. It's at 236 now, so it looks like it might be potentially trying to come back up, but just be careful because you can see on this 20-day kind of just staircasing down, so it might just be another staircase forming. So definitely be careful with this one for sure. Let's look at the 10-day. It's pretty oversold too. MACD looks like though might be getting ready to pull back. So again, like I said, just be careful with this one. It does have potential, of course, to gap up like a whole dollar plus, but definitely don't want to get caught riding it down by any means. So with that being said, I don't know if I'm going to add this one to my watch list or not. Because, yeah, I was thinking you'll probably see a strong resistance right around 285, even if it does start to come back up. To me, this one, just the risk versus reward just isn't there right now. I'll probably go ahead and set an alert for if it reaches like I have right here, 293, just so I can revisit it, but I'm not going to add it to my watch list. So there we go. But yeah, like I said, do you guys have any stocks or anything that you all are wanting me to break down or that you might have a question about? I'll probably get ready to wrap this one up soon. I'll probably break down a couple other ones really quick, but I'll probably start wrapping this up soon if you guys don't have any questions or stocks or anything. Oh, one I'm also watching actually, before I actually scan for any more. Steel. Steel had a pretty massive sell-off. It was down 1 point under $32. So this is one I might actually sell a put on or even consider like actually purchasing a call on when it comes to options, because when we look at steel, I mean just not even the past 20 days, like even further back, it's really bounced around like $34 to $38 consistently, and it had this huge sell-off all the way, like I said, below $32. So if it can like get back above 33 and hold above 33, I would consider like putting calls or selling puts, whatever I end up doing. I'll definitely let you guys know. But if I were to like buy calls, I'd probably do some at like 35 bucks, maybe even 36, because I don't know the exact potential for profit. I don't have an options calculator out currently, but I'm assuming the profits would be pretty good if you could hit that. And then obviously selling puts, I'd probably sell puts obviously out of the money, probably like I don't know, 30 bucks or something. Like I said, I'll just definitely, you guys know I'm gonna look into it for sure. I don't have enough funds to even do that. But even if you're looking to like flip a stock, this might be a good potential stock to flip as well. Again, I'd wait for it to break above 33 just for some good solid, like not resistance, but good confirmation. Obviously, it's up roughly what 40 or 50 cents since the low, but to me that's just not enough because it could just continue to kind of build some staircases and continue down. Again, I don't, just based off the recent trend, I don't see steel really going much lower in all honesty, but I mean, who's to say? I mean, it could continue. So I would at least wait till around that $33 mark, and then by all means, if you get in around, let's say you got in at 33.13, because that's where my ticker landed, you're probably going to see some resistance pretty solid around 35.30 to 35.50. But look, right there, you're at 7% already. And let's say it goes ahead and push through that, you'll probably see some more right around, I'd probably say the 36, somewhere in there. You're still looking at 9% there. Let's say it goes ahead and pushes up to 37 plus. You're looking at 13 to 20% potential at that point. So this would definitely probably be a swing trade for sure. I don't think you're going to see it push up 14% one day or anything. It's kind of like my dad always told me with grades. Your grades can drop really quickly, but it's always hard to get them back up whenever they drop. So kind of a goofy metaphor or analogy, whatever, but it's definitely true. I mean, could it? Yeah, but realistically, when it goes up, when steel goes up, it tends to only go up about 2 to 5%, unless if obviously there's some tariff news or something like this, because this is like United States steel. So obviously if you hear like some more tariff talk, which I don't think we really will, but if we were to, then yeah, you'd probably see a jump up like 5 to 10%. But I mean, again, that's just not very likely. But either way, this could be a potential good swing trade for sure. So I'll probably go ahead and set me alert. I'm glad I actually remembered this because I was worried that I wouldn't. So I'll go ahead and create alert, like I said, right around $33. I want to get it at or above. And by all means, I definitely might consider. I might even consider swing trading this one. So like I said, I'll definitely keep you guys posted on that. What else? I guess we can scan for one more. just look and see here. So this one, MBV, the volume is okay. IDXG is down about 5%. This one has decent volume. Let's take a look at it. IDXG. So interface diagnostic. So it's down all the way to 77 cents at one point. So it went up like 10 cents before the end of the day. So that if you somehow got in on that, good for you. But let's take a look really quickly. Obviously, you want to start with 180. It's not too bad. It's still obviously slightly descending. It is trading below the SMA, which I generally don't like that much as well. Apparently earnings is coming up also in about 2 weeks, it looks like, so that'd be something to watch out for. Earnings has not treated this one very well, obviously, of late, which is probably why it's continuing to descend. But just because it's descending does not mean that there's no potential for profit there. Let's look back at the 20-day. Yeah, again, this one, I don't know if I like this one. No, I don't really like this one. So, no, I'm not even going to worry about it. But just because something is descending does not mean that you shouldn't take a position in it. Just know there's more risk, which means what? That you have a higher probability of losing money versus making money. Especially when it's not only descending, but holding below the 180-day SMA. That's just something that I generally do not like. So I guess we can kind of look over here too. Top losers, new low, oversold. So okay, let's look at ADOM, because it's saying that one's oversold, down 13% at 60 cents. So let's take a look. ADOM. So it is pretty much dead on 60 cents. Again, let's look at the 180-day. Again, descending, holding below the 180-day SMA. It's just hard to make money with something like this. Doesn't mean it's not possible. No. Apparently it jumped up to like 70 cents after hours, but came back down. Apparently it's at 62 cents, or is that the EMA? Or apparently it is at 70 cents. Again, manipulation could be the cause of that, so just be careful with it. No, I probably won't mess with this one either. It's just not worth it, especially with the goofy after hours action. I would look for it in all honesty to come back down pre-market tomorrow, but this one, again, it's just hard to make money on stuff that is trending down, and 180-day SMA is the resistance. So there was another one I showed that was oversold too, which was that ONTX at 39 cents. Again, I don't really like messing with ones that are generally under $1, but especially under 50 cents. But it's saying oversold, so I mean we can go ahead and take a look at it. But I'm guessing I'll probably pass on this one too. So again, trending down and below 180-day SMA. Apparently was down to 36 cents. Definitely has potential to gap up, I would say, to at least 60 cents. 10-day. And what do you look? 10-day SMA pretty much. I mean, SMA on the 10-day chart is right around 60 cents as well. 5-day. Nope. I just don't like how this one's setting up either. Because look, every time we get close to our SMA, I'm pretty sure the 1 day is probably going to show similar too. Yep, see it's holding below. What would I expect? I would expect for it to drop back below, probably make a new low. I'll probably go ahead and set an alert. I'll set an alert at 35 cents to see when it makes a new low, because just based off of this pattern right here, you can tell that when it makes a new low, it tends to bounce pretty good. So I mean, say that it bounced, say it just made a new low of 34 cents. It'll probably go lower, but let's say it just goes down to 34 cents. Say it bounces up to even just like 38 cents. That's 11% profit potential. So, I mean, even just a couple pennies, you're talking 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, definitely potential. So again, I'm not going to add it to my watch list just because I don't see much value in it. But if it drops below 35 cents, I'm definitely going to revisit it because it could just be a quick flip in all honesty. So, not totally worthless, but let's look at the 5-day to see if that actually continues every day or something. So generally speaking, so what do you see? It dropped down, popped back up, you definitely want to sell it quick for sure. Had a quick drop, came up. Just seems to be if you hit it at the right time, you can cash in on it, like most penny stocks. But yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna force it. If it happens, cool. If not, no big deal. Like I said, it's not even gonna be added to my watch list. It's just not worth it to me. But yeah, we'll definitely see what happens. And then obviously my ETFs. Obviously, I'm always watching Gush, Drip. Those are my two ETFs that I usually look at the most. A lot of people are starting to predict that oil might drop back down. I'm still thinking I'm just holding out, and honestly, I'm thinking that we're gonna hit $70 before oil drops off. But I mean, I definitely could be wrong. I mean, we're already back under 68. Like I said, I'm not gonna think that oil's in full-fledged, I wouldn't say correction mode, but oil's not going to drop off until we hit $66 in all honesty, because we've come down below 68 multiple times, and what does it do? It goes right back up. So obviously you see Gush hit 32 plus if it came back up. If it came below 66 though, Gush would obviously drop well below $30, probably below 29, 28. And then what would that mean for Drip? Drip would probably be at 9, 10 plus at that point, which then you'd see a reversal. And there's definitely potential for that to happen. I broke that down. I don't know if it's changed much since I talked about that on Friday. But when you look at the 180-day on Gush, you see that it kind of peaked out here twice. You see that it made a high, it came down, it pushed back up for another high, and then what did it do? Just staircase down. Now when we come over here and look at it recently, what do you see? It kind of made a high, it came down, it tried to make another high, came down again, made a newer high, and then what would you expect possibly if based off that recent trend? You expect for it to trend back down. But again, I'm going to just wait it out, see what happens with oil. If oil drops below 67, then I'll probably start keeping a close eye on it, just see where Gush is at that point, see where Drip is, and just see what the outlook looks like. But by all means, like I said, none of us are fortune tellers at the end of the day, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think if we cross below 29, then yeah, I think it's definitely going to Drip and Gush will have then reversed. But again, we'll see what happens. I might take a small position on Drip next week or Gush. Like I said, depends on what happens with /CL. You could also take a position in XOP. I know there's various of stocks and ETFs that go hand in hand with oil. XOP and Gush pretty much correlate exactly with one another, so just something to keep in mind for sure. And then you can also play options obviously with those as well. It's just whatever your game is at the end of the day. But if there's no questions or any ticker symbols that you guys want me to break down, then I guess we can go ahead and start wrapping the stream up. We're over half an hour already. So hopefully you guys liked the stream. If you did, definitely make sure to smash the like button. I definitely really appreciate that. And I appreciate you guys again for tuning in. The two of you that stuck through the whole stream. Can't wait to see you guys again tomorrow. Again, tomorrow's going to be an interesting day. I'm kind of worried in all honesty about what's going to happen with Sprint, with the whole T-Mobile saga going on. But honestly, if it could open around 6, I'd be so happy. I wouldn't say so happy, but I'd be happier than if it pushed up to 650 plus, obviously. But again, I'm definitely going to be watching it pretty closely just to see what happens, because I mean, it has to be approved too. So I mean, that could also be a hiccup. Look at again, Time Warner and AT&T and whatnot, and all the other mergers. A lot of mergers have been blocked lately, so we'll see what happens for sure. Hopefully we'll see some sort of pullback right at the bell. I doubt it though. I see Sprint and T-Mobile having a really good day tomorrow. But again, I'll just watch it and see what happens. Other than that, I think everything else will play out with time. That's a good thing about options. You have time. Time obviously does not work in your favor because of theta for the most part, but I mean, you still have time to make profits at the end of the day, versus with penny stocks and all that stuff. You just have a higher, more enhanced risk when it comes to trading. So again, I'll go ahead and just wrap this video up. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this stream, another Sunday stock watch. If you did, definitely make sure to smash that like button. I greatly appreciate it. I know I just said that. Sorry about that. But and if you're new to the channel and you see this video after it goes up, or if this is your first time seeing the stream and you like what we're all about here, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button below. We'd love to have you here, and hit that bell icon so you'll be notified during the week when we go live for stock market trading. But until next time, guys, keep on going out there making those profits, covering those profits, and achieving some financial freedom this year. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Take it easy, guys.